Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? On Tuesday, the Saints rookies report for camp. Like, this is crazy. I mean, NFL camp is almost here. Some teams start this week. So it's essentially upon us, and we're getting to the point where it's time to start looking at, okay, what are we going to be looking for in camp? And it was interesting because CBS Sports has a piece where they looked at 3 questions for each team in the NFL. And so when you look at the NFC South, for example, like Tampa, they ask, who will be the starting quarterback was the number one question that they asked for Tampa in their thing. Is Devin White on board? That's number 2. And then how will the offensive line shake out? I mean, you could see some of the obvious questions. So for the Panthers, is Bryce Young ready to start day one? Who's going to emerge under the receivers? Remember, Adam Thielen is there now as well. Is J.C. Horn healthy? I'm pretty high on Carolina. I think y'all know that. For the Falcons, is Ritter ready to seize the opportunity? Can Kyle Pitts bounce back? Who starts opposite A.J. Terrell? For the New Orleans Saints, the 3 questions they asked, I don't even think these are 3 that interest me very much. At least not 2 of them. One is if Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended. And I understand why that's interesting. He's a noted commodity. He led you in both rushing and receiving last year. And so if he's going to be suspended is certainly relevant. But you signed Jamal Williams, drafted Kendre Miller. I'm just assuming even if you miss Kamara for any length of time, it's kind of what it is. Number 2 is whether or not Michael Thomas is healthy. Again, I hope he is. I hope he plays at a high level, but we haven't seen Michael Thomas at full tilt in 4 years. He's played 10 games over the last 3 seasons. Like, whatever you're going to get from Michael Thomas feels like lagniappe. So if you get something from him, great. I'm more interested in what younger receivers are going to step up. And then number 3 was about a change of scenery for Derek Carr and if that'll do him any good. And obviously the questions around Derek Carr are the most interesting. But that's really the only one that I kind of agree on if I'm looking at my 3 biggest questions for the Saints in training camp. And I wanted to run through these right now and take a look at each of the things that I think are the 3 biggest questions facing the Saints in training camp. And what better way to put a soundtrack to that in prime time? All right, first of all, it is the Derek Carr question. And the way I would specifically ask it, is Derek Carr 2021 Matthew Stafford, or is he 2020 Andy Dalton? Long time with the franchise that drafted him. They part ways. 2 quarterbacks that went to different spots that had dramatically different results. In year 13, Matthew Stafford threw for 4,886 yards, 41 touchdowns, 17 picks, in 17 games and won the damn Super Bowl. After a decade in Cincinnati, Andy Dalton went to Dallas, played in 11 games, threw for 2,100 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 8 picks. And that's essentially what he's done in Chicago and New Orleans, and now he's going to Carolina. His career is over. Where is Derek Carr on that spectrum? I don't know that we're going to get that answer in camp, but certainly the Derek Carr question is the singular and most important question when you have any conversation about the Saints. Number 2 on the list. Do the Saints have any linebackers behind DeMario Davis and Pete Werner? Like any of them at all? Like if you looked at the roster, DeMario Davis at 34 years old is still a freak show. You know, ESPN's doing its ranking of positions based by scouts and coaches and front office personnel. They got DeMario Davis as the 6th best linebacker. He's the only linebacker in football that plays literally every snap. He's not just a 3-down linebacker. He never comes off the field. He's getting better as he gets older. He's just a physical anomaly. A guy that he found the perfect situation in New Orleans after being in Cleveland and with the Jets. He found a perfect situation that used his skill set. He's a leader, community leader as well, and he just keeps getting better as he gets older. DeMario Davis is a total given. Pete Werner's an awesome player when he's on the field, but he's missed time in each of his 2 seasons in the NFL. So can he stay healthy? I don't know that. After those 2 guys, bro, you ain't got nothing. Like, literally. You've got Andrew Dowell, who's played in 33 career games and has 22 total tackles. You've got two veterans in Ty Summers and Ryan Connolly, each who have played 4 NFL seasons. Summers has 52 games played, 58 tackles, basically a special teamer and a backup, who spent last year with the Saints. And then Ryan Connolly, who's entering his 5th NFL season also, has played in 31 career games with 30 tackles. Demario Davis has that in 2 weeks. After that, DeMarco Jackson, you drafted him. He missed all last year with an injury. Nafai Sewell and Anthony Orji, rookies who haven't played and were undrafted free agents. So after your first 2 guys, you ain't got nothing. Nobody. So you're looking, okay, what's a question in camp? Who steps up and proves they can actually play linebacker in the NFL behind the 2 guys you know that are a given, one of whom is injury prone? That is a massive question for the Saints defense. They'll need to work out in camp. And third, are Peyton Turner and Trevor Penning busts? Are those 2 more first-round busts? Obviously, we all hope not. But Peyton Turner is now 24 years old. We know the Saints took him in round 1 of the 2021 NFL draft. And in 2 seasons in the NFL, he's got a total of 28 tackles and 3 sacks. If he is healthy, he's a physically imposing guy at 6'6", 280, 270 is about where they list him, who can play inside or out. But can he get on the field? And then the same is true with Trevor Penning. Now, it's a little unfair to say that about Penning yet, but you used a mid-first round pick on Trevor Penning. You are looking at 2 offensive guards that are in their final year of their deal with Andres Pete and Cesar Ruiz, and a left tackle who is, I don't want to say an NFL journeyman, but has never been a dominant left tackle in James Hurst in the NFL. You drafted Trevor Penning, and I was hopeful for him a year ago. But he was injured, he made it back, and when he got back, he was a really good run blocker, but his pass blocking was atrocious. So you used a mid-first round pick, you expect that guy to come in year 1 and be a guy for you. Injury delayed that. Now that he's healthy, is he ready to go be a starter? Because if you break camp and Trevor Penning isn't your starting left tackle, that's a problem. If old James Hurst beats out the freak show athlete young guy you drafted to be your starting left tackle, that's a real problem. You have to start looking at this as that's probably another draft miss in round 1. And that, more so than salary cap issues and everything, have been what have hurt the Saints, have been their high-profile draft misses. You trade up to get Marcus Davenport. He never produces at that level. Use a first-rounder on Peyton Turner. He's sitting here going into year 3. You got nothing out of him. Trevor Penning last year, of course, part of that trade with the Eagles. And now look at where you are entering year 2 with him. That's, for me, the biggest thing. What about those guys that you invested big-time draft capital in? Are you going to get a return? You should know that coming out of camp, provided they're healthy. All right, 3 things I'm looking for as the Saints get ready for training camp here with the rookies reporting next week. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.